Kindle Love Stories talked to 11 best-selling authors who are all part of the Indie Voice, including Dr. Debra Holland, author of the Montana Sky series, and Jasinda and Jack Wilder, all contributed to the new romance anthology, Summer on Seeker's Island. Now, Debra, you are one of 10 authors in the Indie Voice. Tell us how that came to be.
Well, there was a group of us that was at a conference together, and they had this workshop on how to cross-promote by joining groups of authors and using the power of the group to draw in new readers.
What I like about what you're saying is you said that you all came together to help promote each other and to promote indie authorship. Is there a sense of competition? I mean, you're mentoring people and showing them how to do what you're doing successfully.
There is not a sense of competition. Writers are not. We're not our competition because, you know, readers can read a book very quickly. A couple hours, a couple days, a couple weeks at the most, and then they turn around and go, I want another one.
First romance novel I ever read was A Kingdom of Dreams by Judith McNaught.
Probably a Barbara Cartland novel. They were very popular in Germany where I grew up.
The first romance book I ever read was one of my grandmother's bodice rippers. I should not have read it at the age of 12, but it made me want to read more romance, obviously.
One of my friend's mothers would read Harlequin romances, and she would give them to my friend, and then my friend would read them, and then she would give them to me. So I think one of the earliest ones I liked was called Dark Star.
The first romance I ever picked up was a Sweet Valley High romances when I was a teen.
The Flame and the Flower by Kathleen E. Woody Weiss.
The first romance novel I ever read was Irish Thoroughbred by Nora Roberts.
Jude Devereaux and Knight in Shining Armor.
Trust Me by Jane and Krantz, and I was 16 years old. It rocked my world.
The first romance I ever read that really, I remember that it like changed my mind about romance was Forever by Judy Blume.
A Diana Gabaldon book, The Outlander.
I ran out of gas, pick me up, Joe. That would be my favorite pickup line.
I don't have a favorite pickup line I've used. However, my husband sold me my motocross gear and told me he came with it. How about, hey baby, want to go to bed? Now, I'm picking up my husband, you understand, and that's not very difficult to do.
I'm like way too old to pick up or be picked up, so I really don't have a favorite pickup line.
I'd like a martini with 3 olives, and one of them I want your phone number in it.
Actually, I never really got picked up now that I think of it. So what the hell? Why did that not happen?
Mostly pickup lines are gross. Don't do it if you're a man.
You, Jasinda Wilder, you are groundbreaking in that you have legions of fans that, as I say, adore you. And what you've done is you've broken all the rules. So talk about that. Talk about what the expectation, the rules are that you're supposed to do, and how you're like, forget about it, I'm doing it my own way, and how people respond to that.
You know, that kind of was a mistake because we set out following the rules. When we first started writing, we were writing our different pen names, and we set out really doing a formula.
Well, let's talk about what are the rules, air quotes.
You know, I think that you have the hero come in at this page, and then they have to kiss by this page, and you can't do this and you can't do that. And we found that those books were boring, to us, and they didn't sell. So we then decided to just try things totally different, and I started writing a book that really just related to me, the character I just really connected with, and it was kind of rule breaking. And I think the great thing about self-publishing is that we can write these books that traditional publishing houses might not want to do. They just wouldn't know how to market it or how to move those books. But we put them out there and the audiences love them. It's so exciting. We've had so many amazing fan moments, but I think the one that sticks out to me was from a young girl that was so touched by Falling Into You that she got a tattoo because that book was just so special to her and had really special meaning for one of her friends. So.
I think it has to be an email that I received after I released Zane's Redemption, which is the 5th book in my Skin God's Vampire series, which is about a Jewish vampire who survived the Holocaust. And the email was from a Jewish woman who had lost her family in the Holocaust. And she paid me great compliments about how I handled it, considering that my background is German. She was very touched by the way the book was written, and that finally there was a Jewish hero she could look up to.
I had a book come out actually around 9/11. It was within a week of 9/11, and I write comedy. And so I was really afraid that that book would not be received well and that people would shun it, basically, because it was comedy and it was surrounding such a tragedy. And then about a week after 9/11, I had a fan write to me and tell me that she lived in New York, and she read the book, and she said it was the first time since that tragedy that she laughed. And I thought, what we do actually has a lot of meaning to a lot of people. Sometimes we don't even realize.
One of my favorite moments with a fan moment as a best-selling author was when one of my fans emailed me and told me that the heroine of my urban fantasy series, Chosen, she tries to save her son, and this woman was sick, and she said that gave her courage to fight to live for her own children. It was very touching.
My favorite fan moment was after a year of self-publishing. I had, it was a girl named Kaylee in Nebraska, wanted to write an essay about me in college, about an American author, and she picked me.
Personal letters are more, to me, they mean more to me than, you know, the random fan moments where sometimes I have to sign people's chests or, you know, other random body parts.
My favorite fan moment was when I had somebody drive 500 miles to a signing because she had been the victim of sexual abuse, and she was awed by the way I had written a character who had been a victim of sexual abuse. It really touched me.
I think we always try to write, one of our rules in writing is to write from some point of personal experience, right? Falling Into You, that character that dies was from someone in my life, a personal relationship that happened that way. And so I always think we write more authentically when it comes from this seed of realism from inside of us. And I think that's why people connect to it, because it's so authentic and real, and we're being vulnerable with how we write. And we love the people that overcome and heal from the loves in their lives. That's the theme that we really like to touch on, is healing through these difficult things in our lives through our love relationship.
Debra, you are a historical romance writer, and I know that you contributed to Summer on Seeker's Island with the rest of the Indie Voice authors, which is a contemporary work. How was it for you as a historical writer to write something contemporary?
It required a shift, and it was fun. It was a shift, but it was a lot of fun to do.
I would bring a pen and paper, but that's two things. So I would maybe just bring paper.
Definitely bring sunscreen with me to Seeker's Island.
My computer and my mobile hotspot.
That husband, yes, that's who I would bring with me to Seeker's Island.
I should be saying my boyfriend, but I'm going to say my dogs.
Okay, our Kindle in coffee.
A coffee maker.
Yeah, and Kindle. What else do you need?
My Keurig, no doubt.
I would probably want to bring Paul Walker, but I can't tell my husband that. So I'm going to say coffee.
Is my husband gonna watch this? I'd be like, I would like some Alexander Skarsgård, please. That's the one thing that I can't do without on my Seeker's Island.
Robert Downey Jr. would be the only thing I'd bring with me to Seeker's Island.
Yeah, Johnny Depp on Seeker's Island would be pretty cool too.